late?
Yeah.
Stanley wouldn't stop talking. He's like, tell me what I did in Superhero Squad again. You're so good at that voice. I'm like, Stan. He did guest spots on Superhero Squad and Spider-Man, so he was reminiscing. He's very sweet.
And Stan Lee does love the ladies.
You know, I've noticed.
He loves the ladies. He may be 91, but there's a part of him that has not gone away.
Definitely.
And that's
sorry.
to create superheroes. Where's your guys' mind at? All right, well, I've been warming them up, trying to get them to project as they ask some questions.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to mind if we go straight to Q&A.
Let's do it.
If you have a question, would you like to call on?
Oh. No, you pick.
Okay, I will pick that. Hands up if you have a question for
That way
Tara.
people can hate you instead of me.
That's all right. That's all right. Right there.
Okay, so
Loud.
this is earlier at the CM Punk Q&A, and I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about asking this, but somebody, oh no, this is nothing. Somebody asked CM Punk if they could have a hug. Could I have a hug with you?
Is that your question? Yes, you can have a hug.
He made it seem like it was going to be something huge.
Really? That was it? Dude.
I answered that so good.
Okay, also, going back to his question for the CM Punk panel, no repeat questions. So, no repeats. Maskless Deadpool.
Well, I grew up being obsessed with The Little Mermaid. So when I booked her daughter, I burst into tears when I first met her. And I totally fangirled out. She's like, are you okay? And I just loved you for so long. And then to sing in the studio with Jodie Benson was dream come true, and I could have died the next day. So I always say that was my all-time favorite role. But after that, it's like impossible, because I don't know what horseshoe I was born with, but every character I've booked has been so extraordinary and legacy, and I love doing Fairly Odd Parents, and I love doing Powerpuff Girls and Raven and Twilight. I could never pick one of my, it's like picking a favorite child. Like, they're all just so fantastic.
Now, let me ask you a follow-up to that. Do you ever start confusing your characters?
No, you know, people ask that all the time, and it's something that voice actors just do. Like, we create these entities that live in our brains, and when we need to perform them, we just call them up on our brain phone and they come out to play, but they literally exist. So it's not like I confuse them ever, unless it's from audition to booking, because sometimes at an audition we'll give 3-4 different choices for the casting director, and then they'll play back which one they pick, because sometimes from the first time you do it, from the audition to the first time you do it, you can't remember what you've done. But once that character is established, you don't mix them up.
So what you're saying is you have multiple personalities.
Correct.
Absolutely.
If you follow me on
nothing wrong
Twitter,
with that.
you've known many jokes about that.
Yep, you.
How do you come up with the ideas of your different voices that you do?
Good question. So when you have an audition as a voiceover actor, they give you a drawing of the character, and they give you a description of the show and what the world looks like, and then they give you a small part of the script, which are called sides, and then you have to try and use your imagination of what the person that drew that drawing and what the writers intended for that character to be, and you just have to play. And then if you get a call back when you get into the studio and they say, we want her a little bit older, a little younger, a little fatter, southern, now she's a boy, now she has braces, he has braces. You just have to be willing to play around until they figure it out, but it's really very fun, and you kind of work together with everyone to get there. You're welcome.
Okay. I know that Teen Titans is going to get a new season now, and I know one of the original episodes will be, you're going to have Tara back.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, you know, and is it the same voice of her?
Yes,
And you're not going to have a fight in your butt, are you?
I'm not going to comment on whether or not I fight with Tara again, but she should beware.
That's very popular on YouTube. So 6 people put like different parts of that fight with mud.
Oh, we're very excited to be back, I can tell you that.
Guy with the shaky hand right there in the glasses.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good question. Next.
All right.
Moving on. Just kidding. Go.
I do a lot of theater work, and I'm curious, being voiceover work, I'm curious, what is the big difference between them, like process?
Oh, well, theater and voiceover are two completely different mediums. For one thing, when you're doing a voiceover, you do not have to memorize any lines. You have the script in front of you on a music stand, and you have to bring the action to life with your voice. So you really have to use your imagination and picture all the moments, and you have to get a completely different agent for it. But I always recommend, if you're thinking of getting into voiceover, to taking lots of acting classes, especially improv classes are very helpful, and singing lessons, and you have to make a demo tape and then get an agent and then get auditions. So it's completely different from, you know, open casting call for a play. Totally different thing. But some of the projection things are the same. People that do theater are often good at really using their vocal strengths and diaphragm and getting good sound out and singing. That's all really important.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think another thing with theater is you usually have to wear pants.
Not necessarily. Have you seen hair?
Not necessarily. Usually. All the way
Who
to
said I wear pants?
all the way to the table.
Hi, I'm really, really happy to see you right now.
Thank you.
I'm trying not to shake my face off. But anyway,
That would be weird.
so I recently had the opportunity to see Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie.
Not for children.
Yeah, not for children at all. And I'm really curious as to what made you go with that voice for that character that I don't want to say out loud because there are children in here. But if you haven't seen it,
Well, listen. When Kevin Smith sends you an email and says, "Will you do my movie?" you say yes. And then you do whatever he wants you to do. And they thought that that would be really funny to give her that voice. And I agreed. And it's Kevin Smith, so I said yes. It's Kevin
Blame you
Smith.
there. Can't blame you there. Go ahead. Orange and yellow hat.
Recording for posterity. Is there a voice you have that wears out your vocal cords faster than others, or is it
Vocally, probably Terrence from Foster's Home was kind of taxing because he was always yelling like, "Rufus, you're such a dweeb," like always. I'm like, oh my god. And other than that, when you're doing a video game, sometimes it's taxing because it's just you for 4 hours straight. When you do a series, there's all the other actors in the room, but voiceover is just you, and they can have like 30 death sounds and 300 different punching and kicking, and even if you're just using your own voice, it gets tiring after a while.
Thank you.
The rock on hand.
No, sorry, next question. Can you imagine about that mean? What's your name?
Cool, I wish Allie would hang out with me. Cosmo Wanda, get me an Allie!
So you're kind of like my hero.
Thank you.
And me and a friend of mine are really, really into voice acting. And I'd just like to know, what are your techniques for like vocal exercise? I feel like really, really high and low and raspy.
I think it's really important to play around with your voice and see what you're capable of doing. I always gave every pet a voice when I was a kid, and you could certainly read comic books and your stuffed animals. And I mean, when Lauren Faust created her world of My Little Pony, she reminisced about how her whole childhood was, you know, at 9 years old, creating voices in this whole world of the ponies. So if you really use your imagination, that's so important to have this organic character come to life. And then vocal warm-ups I do if I have to sing, and they're from singing lessons, which I still take. And other than that, I kind of play around with my voice, but I don't necessarily do anything specific that I could tell you. I kind of just do it, and sometimes something new comes out. Like Teen Titans was something that happened during the audition. I actually left the room, and I came back and I said, I have this one more idea, and I've never done that voice before, but I just thought it'd be cool if she had this weird little roll every time she spoke. And that's kind of what booked it. So you have to be just free to play, you know? That's the most important thing, is you can't be afraid what you look like, because I don't always look this cute with voices.
Do you have a lot of people doing voices for you? Maybe not of your characters, but their own characters, wanting to know your opinion?
I mean, especially at conventions, a lot of people do impressions for me. It's very sweet. But when someone says they want to get into voiceover and they have a cuckoo voice, I always feel bad because they're like,
Yeah, I really want to get into voiceover. People say I have a really great voice.
I'm like, wow, I'm so sorry. It's not about having a weird voice. It's about bringing these characters to life with your acting abilities. So I always encourage all kinds of acting lessons.
All right, who has the best question now?
In the world,
Best-
ever, of any
best
convention.
question. Okay, the Ginger, as she calls herself.
Hi, Miss Strong.
Hi.
Miss Riley.
Hi, Riley.
I'm a budding voice actress myself. I have a callback in 2 days.
Congratulations. Is it for something I'm up for? Then we'll have to talk.
I will see you at auditions.
Okay, good. Phew.
I was just wondering, what advice would you give to us who are budding actors and actresses who really want to get into the business? What advice would you give?
Don't take her job.
My inner Harley will hunt you down. It's just really important to know that it's exactly what you want to do because it's not an easy business to break into, and you can't kind of dabble in it if you're really serious. That's like I say, to take all kinds of classes and constantly be working on your craft. And then if it's something you really want, the most important thing, like anything, is confidence. Because if you go in there and you look nervous and you're shaking or you're not giving your ultimate performance, that's going to show. And they want to know that you're not going to waste studio time by being scared. So even if you're faking it, some of the most extraordinary Academy Award winning actors are very insecure in real life, but they're great at faking it. So confidence and faking confidence is the number one thing. Just sort of see yourself afterwards telling everyone what a great job you did.
Thank you so much.
All the way in the back.
Hi.
Okay, so do you have any lines from past shows that you've done, like certain episodes that get stuck in your head, like, still today?
Just as tough as possible, Buttercup. I'm hardcore. Like that? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Sometimes.
Is it possible to be an actor and a voice actor at the same time, or do you have to just choose one or the other?
It is possible, and a lot of people hate it when they say, are you an actor or a voice actor? Because they all go together. Most of us didn't know that we were going to do primarily voiceover, myself included. I knew when I was 5 that I wanted to sing and dance and act, but I didn't know that I was going to be doing primarily voiceover. The problem with being super busy doing voiceover is finding time to do on camera. So some people do it quite well. Phil Lamar does quite a bit of on camera. I myself had a recurring role in Big Time Rush not that long ago, and yeah, so it's possible, but when you are in the top tier, it's difficult because I'll be working on 6-10 shows at a time, so to take off for a week's work to say, here's your coffee, on a sitcom would be stupid. So you sort of have to pick stuff that you really want to do. You know. Ooh, I hate these questions. You're not allowed to ask those questions anymore.
All right.
Who do you think would win? I don't know, that'd be a tough one. I think they'd just talk to squirrels and play with ponies and call it a day.
Can you describe an average work week for yourself?
Average work week. Well, my schedule next week, for instance, I have The Old Republic on Monday. If any of you guys are fans of that Star Wars game, Risha. And then Tuesday I have Fairly Odd Parents. And then Wednesday I usually do a little My Little Pony, and we just finished Shaolin Chronicles, which is going to be out soon. Teen Titans Go is always Friday. In between that, I do Coming Up Next on the Bad Girls Club in my pajamas in my home studio. I always have auditions or quick jobs in my home studio every day. And in between all my jobs, I have lots of time with my kitties, and that means children, not animals. And I'm just real busy, but I like it, and I'm very lucky.
Also, you kick ass.
Thanks!
The man with all the buttons.
Alright, this is gonna be really random, but in your Twilight voice, can you say Round Trigger the Magician is a lovely pony?
Dear Princess Celestia, Brown Sugar the Magician is a lovely pony. Spike, what did I just say?
As Twilight Sparkle and Einstein, what was your episode work on and why?
Lesson 0 was pretty fun. Because she got to go crazy. Equestria Girls was fun too. That was a totally different thing for her, even though it was still the character. What's your favorite episode? Honestly, don't lie to me. That was a good one too. Candlelight Wednesday. I concur. I cried a little. You know, my kids, they like the silly stuff that I do. They actually didn't like the old Titans, but they love Titans Go. They like Adventure Time and regular show, and so they like to watch my shows, and they really love watching Family Guy, because I'm such a good mom and let my 8-year-old watch that. Because they like picking who I like. Mom, that's you're the cookie girl. They like that. Or Mad. They like picking out my characters in Mad. But they don't ask me to do voices, but their friends at school do. And if any of you follow me on Twitter, I saw the funniest thing in my kid's yearbook. It said, "Dear Sam, you're so cool, and thanks for not getting mad when everyone geeks out over your mom being Twilight Sparkle." So their friends do a lot, but I do voices at them all day long, so I don't think they'd ask for it, really. They'd probably ask me to stop talking.
All the way in the back. Yeah.
Did you actually get to work with Mark Hamill and like doing Batman?
Yeah, when I did the first, the Batman animated series, when I first moved to town, which that like blew my mind. I remember my agent calling saying, "You're her, you're the Bat, you're the girl that's the Bat, you're Batgirl." I was freaking out, so it was me, and then Mark Hamill was here, and Kevin Conroy was right here, and I was like, really? I'm just gonna pinch myself a little bit, and they were so amazing to watch, and we always had great guest cast, and Arlene Sorkin was incredible, and it was just amazing. It was such a magical time, so yes.
Green show.
So I'm curious, with as many roles as you have played, how often do you get rejected?
Never. Next question. No, I mean, it happens, and if it's something that I really, really want, I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bummed, but I also think if you sort of feel grateful for everything you have and happy for the person that got it, it was meant to be, and you'll get something else. It's hard to let things go when you're an actor, and I'm sure everyone here that wants to be an actor, you know, and it's like something you really want. It's hard, but you gotta go, well, the universe has plans, so it's fine. I'll get over it. Why did you ask that?
What are you holding up there? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Hi. So, obviously, Drawn Together is extremely different from a lot of things you've done in the past in a number of ways. How wasn't doing that? Did you enjoy that? Was it a little off-putting?
Did I enjoy that? How could I not? Different is right. I remember my mother-in-law visiting me, and I took her to a Rugrats taping, and then I took her to a table read for Drawn Together. And I was like, just so you know, this is not the Rugrats. Not even close. I mean, because I do so many kids stuff to get to a booth and say naughty words, and sing about making out with people, with Cree Summer, who I did my first show with when I was 13. I had a tremendous amount of fun. I wish that show would go on forever and ever.
Bearded gentleman.
How was it filming for I Know That Voice?
That was fun. It was really sweet. I'm glad that they did it. You know, because of the fans, all of you amazing people, and the internet, people finding us, there's been so much recognition for the voiceover actors, and I love John. We've been friends for a long time, so I was happy to help him out and be interviewed, and I hope it does really well, because it's nice for us to get some recognition. Sorry, did I make her cry, or is she laughing?
She's laughing.
Okay, good. As long as I didn't make her cry. Oh, she wants a question? What is it?
She wants to know if you could tell her happy birthday to Twilight Sparkle.
What's her name?
Saris.
Saris? That's so pretty.
Dear Princess Celestia, I would like to wish Saris a very happy birthday, and I'd like Spike to get her a very expensive present, because she looks like she deserved diamonds. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle.
That was grossly adorable the way she was
I
hiding behind her
know.
hat.
Please let me ask you a question and not look at you the whole time. You can make fun of her later. Again, her bat mitzvah or wedding or whatever.
Taking over the role of Harley Quinn, how were you able to like honor the animated series version and still make it your own?
That was really tricky because I really love Arlene, and like I said, I was Batgirl alongside her. So when they approached me and said that she wasn't doing it, I was pretty shocked and also worried. I didn't know why, but I worked on the impression so that it would be really, really close. When I have to do like a voice match for someone, if it's a celebrity impression or whatever it is, I work on it. And then I came into the studio and they said, we don't want you to do an impression of Arlene. And I was kind of worried because I know the fans love Harley and great because of that voice. And they said, we just want you to tweak it a little and make it your own a little. And then that's what I did. And I just really hoped and prayed that the fans would respond to her, which they did. I mean, it's so funny. I was just saying I don't know if you know, through my Twitter, I raised $100,000 for a little girl with a brain tumor who recently passed away. So we're using all the leftover swag to give to various charities for kids with cancer. And I always brought extra Twilightlicious slap bracelets because everybody wanted those, and I brought a couple Harleys and no one ever bought. I'm sold out of Harley slap bracelets right now. Everyone wanted Harley, so I guess the fans are liking her, and she's so much fun to do because she's so psycho.
You'd think after living with Mr. J all this time I'd be used to a little pain, sweetie!
We'll go back to Harley since we're on the topic.
I have two questions. What's your favorite quote as Raven from Teen Titans, and also what you sign my back?
I guess so. No one else can ask that, right?
Nobody else.
No one else can ask who's on my bat. I'd have to say Azarath Metrium Zinthos, because nobody ever gets to say that. There's some pretty fun stuff coming up on Titans that I'm really happy I got to say. We're doing a lot of whatevers in this show. I'm just kind of bored.
Never mind.
Bring me your dumb bat and I'll sign a brain.
Do you have a marker, or do we need to get a marker?
I have a marker.
Look how helpful everyone is.
I'm never gonna wash this back again.
There's blood on your bat.
Oh, her back.
In case you were wondering.
She said back. She's definitely gonna wash that bat.
You're welcome.
And since he supplied the marker, you may ask the next question.
This is a favorite question I like to ask people, and it is a difficult one, so if you're not able to answer it, that's fine.
I'm married, okay? 2 children. I don't know what you want from me. At least wait till they're 16 or something.
You've been asked the same questions or similar questions over and over and over again. What is one question you have not been asked that you've always wanted to answer?
Oh, that's a good one.
Will you accept this diamond pendant? Yes. Thank you.
We have time for a few more questions. So only the best of the best. Oh, she's jumping up and down back there. Yeah. Loud for everybody.
What's your favorite quote as Twilight Sparkle?
Oh, gosh. Favorite quote is Twilight Sparkle. What's yours? How am I supposed to know if you don't know?
I kind of like the sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake. Shake your hooves and do a little shake.
Oh, I messed it up. Something like that. Did you like that one?
Clap your hooves and do a little shake.
Good thing this isn't going on the internet.
Nobody ever put pants on the internet. All right.
Are there any characters that you ever get sick of doing because people bug you about them so much?
Oh, you mean like when someone asks me to do it? No. I'm just cool like that.
After you played Hello Kitty in your first episode, were there any voiceover classes
No. Just a natural genius, really. No, I never did. I always took acting classes, though. I really recommend them. They're good.
Did you lose your seat?
Yeah, well, we never have.
Good, then ask her.
I was curious, you said you did your first acting at 13. Before that point, did you find that you knew different voices or you made up different voices? Was that part of the acting lessons that you realized there were more voices that you had?
Oh, no, I always just did them by nature. Like, I used to take my mom's hand and say, let's pretend we're from England when we go in the store. My bunny rabbit used to say to my sister, I hate you, Marla! Like, I would just do everything had a voice. I can't, it was just always silly. So when your kids do that, encourage them. It's definitely part of play, just like acting. And she's very cute. She's a little twily.
One more question. Who has the best question
In the
remaining?
world, and is it, will you accept this diamond pendant?
Does anybody have that question?
Why do I smell mean coming?
Yeah. All right. She's waving, flagging us down. It's better be good.
So I've always been a fan of your singing, and I was there and I watched like Violet Cody and other shows like that. I was really disappointed that it was usually another person who can sing like similar to your character's strength. Why is it that? Why is that so? Because I would love to hear you sing songs from Violet Cody.
Me too. The biggest challenge is that they do the show in Vancouver and I'm in Los Angeles. And the songs, the composer, Daniel Ingram, is so particular and so dang talented and really needs his girls that he trusts close by. And because of my kids, I just don't want to leave town that much. So it's just easier that way, but it is, I mean, for me creatively, of course I'd like to, and she does a great job. We actually just met at the Equestria Girls premiere for the first time, and she's a lovely, lovely girl, and because she sounds like me and does such a great job, I'm not like, oh, that girl sounds awful. But that's my favorite thing to do is sing, so at least, you know, I get to sing on Drawn Together, obviously, and The Mermaid, and as Timmy Turner, although he's not quite as pretty, but... Yeah, thank you. It'd be fun. It just doesn't work out geographically. See how smart I am? Geographically.
Sing? What did I sing?
Love makes the world go round.
That's not pretty. Because love makes the world go round. Is alive and at home in the sea. I'm swirling and twirling, so graceful and grand, not stubbing my toes, getting stuck in the sand. For a moment, I can feel all the dreams I've been dreaming are real. Wish my mother could hear it. The sea is my song. For a moment, just a moment, I belong.
I know a lot of you have questions that we didn't get to ask of our guest today. Make sure to visit her at her booth. I'm sure you would love to answer their questions if they stop by.
Especially if it's the diamond pendant question.
Put that on your priority list. Everybody, give it up for Tara Strong.